Hey friends in beauty, if you're a professional makeup artist or beauty pro who is tired of juggling multiple tools to run your business, I got great news for you. Beauty Pro Funnels is here to simplify your life and take your business to the next level. Unlike other platforms like Wix, Squarespace, or Acuity, Beauty Pro Funnels was created by a makeup artist for makeup artists. This is the world's first all-in-one software that helps you book clients, sell your products, and even launch courses all in one place. No need for separate subscriptions that drain your wallet or tools that don't speak your language as a beauty pro. With Beauty Pro Funnels, you're not just getting another booking tool. You're unlocking the ability to create multiple revenue streams, so whether you're behind the chair or not, you're making money. Imagine accepting bookings, selling your beauty products, and offering courses all without the stress of managing separate systems. That could be a big headache. Let me break it down to you one more time. Your website, build it on Beauty Pro Funnels. Your portfolio, build it on Beauty Pro Funnels. Your booking site, build it on Beauty Pro Funnels. And your e-commerce site, host it in Beauty Pro Funnels. Want to offer beauty courses or digital products? You can sell them inside of Beauty Pro Funnels, and you'll be able to send invoices, digital contracts, newsletters, and do all of your marketing directly from your Beauty Pro Funnels account. It's mind-blowing. Listen, you're going to save hundreds of dollars every single month by replacing over 10 platforms when you make the switch to Beauty Pro Funnels like Wix, Squarespace, Acuity, WordPress, Vagaro, Honeybooks, 17 Hats, Dubsado, MailChimp, Klaviyo, Kajabi, DocuSign, even Shopify. It's crazy. I know you got at least one of those. And here's the best part. Tayana and her team spent over a year building plug-and-play templates into your account for pretty much everything, so you never have to start from scratch at all. So all of your appointment confirmations, reminders, and payment reminders and stuff like that for your clients, they have already been written out for you. You can even gather reviews and referrals all on autopilot. You'll free up so many hours of time each week so you can focus on what you love, your artistry. Plus, with their mobile app, you can manage your entire business from the palm of your hand. Send invoices, schedule appointments, and even take payments on the go. I believe in Beauty Pro Funnels so much that I recently moved the Friends of Beauty site to Beauty Pro Funnels, and I am loving it. It's a game changer because it's not just a platform. I swear it is like having your personal business assistant designed specifically for makeup artists and beauty pros like you. So here's the deal. If you want to see what all the hype is about, visit getbeautyprofunnels.com/friends to get a personalized tour and see how Beauty Pro Funnels can transform your business today. That's getbeautyprofunnels.com/friends because you deserve the best tool for your beauty business.
They have their number ones. I'm not everybody's number one. Mm-hmm. I fill in with Carrie when Takesha's not available.
Okay.
I just saw Tracy, Ellis Ross. I just prepped her for a movie. People have several people that they work with. Janet is on tour. I couldn't go on tour. So she has somebody that is doing the tours right now. It's just, people have options, and I just get in wherever I can fit in. People right now obviously are into social media. They aren't necessarily only looking at your work. They're looking at how you live your life to see if they even want your type of energy around. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's a specific way that people should act or be, but just know that what you represent is going to be a reflection of what type of work you get. Some of the people, unfortunately, the way that life works, that we're gatekeeping, I've surpassed.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it to be that way, but
it'd be like that sometimes.
And it's like, sis or bro, like, it doesn't take anything for you to give somebody else an opportunity or open a door for somebody. We've gotten hip to the game. So it's like, before you hit the red carpet, we have a photographer that's at the house or in the hotel room.
And everything.
edit these pictures and get them up and get them posted before the carpet pictures post. So hopefully you have some level of control in terms of what the blogs pick up and throw out there before the carpet pictures even hit.
Yeah.
Sometimes people see your posts and your hard work and the beautiful pictures in your house, and they still will post the messed up carpet pictures.
Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get authentic answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. Join me every week as me and my special guest reveal the keys to longevity and success in the beauty industry, from the ups and downs of their journey to the nitty-gritty of their struggles and triumphs. We're spilling the tea on it all, and most importantly, having fun while doing it. You ready? Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty here, Aquia Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I am so happy to have you here, and I hope you're listening to this episode in high spirits and in good health. Now, on today's episode, we have the pleasure of having Larry Jarah Sims in the Friends in Beauty guest chair. So Larry is an award-winning celebrity hair architect with over 20 years in the industry. He has created some of the most iconic looks for a host of celebrity clients like Janet Jackson, Gabrielle Union, Zendaya, Regina King, Sanaa Lathan, Kerry Washington, and Mary J. Blige, just to name a few. All of those people are popping, okay? Most recently, Larry became the co-founder alongside his longtime friend Gabrielle Union to relaunch Flawless by Gabrielle Union, a line of all-natural luxury products for textured hair at an accessible price. I'm so excited to have Larry here, y'all. Welcome to the Friends of Beauty podcast, Larry.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, it's an absolute pleasure. I have to tell you, I'm really like in awe of how things are unfolding for my life. Do you ever feel like that? You just sit back and be like, what is happening right now? That's how,
Absolutely.
that's how I feel right now because I saw you last year at the Black Beauty Roster event in New York. And I saw
Yes.
you speak, and I was like, "Oh wow, he's amazing. He's popping. I got to get him on the podcast one day." Just kind of like tucked it away. And then now this opportunity has presented itself, so I'm just like in awe and so excited to finally meet you and have a conversation with you today.
Thank you so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love manifestation. I love being able to see the vision. And I appreciate the love and support, from you and coming to BBR. It was a great event. So
Yes,
definitely full
absolutely.
circle.
Absolutely full circle. A lot of those things are happening to me lately. But before we get yapping away, let's start off with some icebreakers so the Friends of Beauty audience can get to know you a little bit outside of what you do professionally.
Okay.
So, first one, just give us three random facts about you.
Random fact. I used to be a dancer for 10 plus years
Wow.
before I was a hairstylist.
Okay. Professional
Um,
dancer.
Professional dancer.
Okay.
Yep. Fun fact. Another fun fact is I met Gabrielle doing Bring It On when she was
Oh,
shooting that movie
wow.
while I was still a dancer. And
Okay.
years later, we connected and obviously became best friends. Well, we
Mm-hmm.
became best friends back then, but we started working together years later.
Nice.
Another fun fact is so many. Um, I live with Missy Elliott for
You
a
said you
couple of
live. Oh,
years.
what?
Yeah. And we lived in one of the years we lived in the MTV crib that was featured on that show in Miami with the koi pond, with the Missy fountain and the Lamborghini furniture. It was a crazy ride.
What? How long were you living there?
So we lived there for a year and we lived in her New Jersey home for a year.
Wow, that's amazing. Is that because like she just needed you on call?
Well, I was transitioning between, so I had already went to cosmetology school. She knew that I love music, still do love music, and I was toying with, do I go and pursue a career as a hairstylist, or do I um, pursue a career as an A&R? And she knew that, like, obviously working with her, she would teach me like the ropes. She has Gold Mine Inc. So in those 2 years that we lived together, it was like Missy Elliott music boot camp,
Wow.
where we put out music on Tweet and Fantasia and Jasmine Sullivan and Monica. So it was a lot of late nights working in the studio, going up to meetings with Violator Records and
Yeah.
Mona Scott and Chris Lighty at the time. So
Wow.
it was a fun ride for 2 years, and then after that, like the mergers started happening with record labels, and a lot of A&Rs were losing their jobs. And I
Right.
was like, okay, I can't set myself up self up in the music industry when it's collapsing. So I put all my faith into the beauty industry, and then it just worked out.
Oh my, this is amazing. The first random facts is just that those are all popping. Live with Missy Elliott, met Gabrielle back in the day. He used to be a professional dancer. We could just stop here. The interview's done. So now- Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay, so what do people always tell you that you're good at aside from doing hair or dancing? Like all the things that you're like really, really good at aside from that, what do people tell you you're good at?
People tell me I'm good at making people feel good,
Mm-hmm.
which I appreciate. Um, Very supportive. Um, my friends say that I'm good at cooking.
Okay.
I make a fire taco.
Okay.
I think I used to be Mexican in the past life. I
I
don't know.
love that.
And people like my sense of style, which is really cool. They like the
You
way I
do.
dress.
You do have a nice sense of style. I was checking you out at the BBR event, like looking at your page and stuff. I was like, okay, he's fly. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay,
I
I agree. I
appreciate it.
agree. When's the last time you did something for the first time? Have you had any new experiences lately?
The last time I did something for the first time, I just recently moved
Mm-hmm.
into a loft space in the arts district.
Okay.
And I went to a restaurant in the neighborhood for the first time, which was really great. It was a sushi spot that was popping.
Okay.
Um, but the last time I did something adventurous for the first time, wow, it's been a minute. I bungee jumped for the first time,
Mm,
but that was like when I was shooting my reality show, Invite Only Cabo.
okay.
That was on Bravo, and that was scary, and I will never do it again.
Yes. Oh my
That
God.
probably was like my last time doing something for the very first time because fortunately, I've had a very full, adventurous life, and
Right.
I've done a lot of things, most things that are on like my bucket list. So,
Mm-hmm. That's
yeah.
cool. Okay, okay. Do you have any current, I call them mini wins or like milestones that are leading up to a bigger goal? Do you have any of those that you've accomplished so far for the year?
So far this year, yes. My collaboration with JC Penney.
Yes, I saw
Um,
that.
yeah, and creating like this sim style service, which is basically getting people in and out of salons in 2 hours or less. No more,
We
being
thank
on
you
that like old energy of sitting in the salons
all
for
day.
all day. Sis, nobody has time for that.
Nobody.
And I think that traditionally and culturally, that's been deemed okay because that's what we grew up on. That's what our parents did,
Mm-mm-mm.
for many years. And it's like the hustle of hairstylists. They get you in and they obviously want to make as much money as possible. And
Right.
your time is not really on their priority list. It's about how many people you can get in to get your money. And I'm all with it. Get your money if that's like what you want to do culturally with your Saturdays or your salon appointments, that's fine. But I also wanted to create an alternative
Mm-hmm.
option for people that want to be in 2 hours or less. So JCPenney, they understood the assignment. They were like, we have 620 salons. Let's start off small.
Mm.
We're in salons between Vegas, not Vegas, but Los Angeles and San Diego.
Yeah.
And it's been really successful. And we intend to expand beyond the doors that we're in now to really create this experience nationally across America with as many of their salons as possible.
Yes, and hopefully it spills over to the other salons in the neighborhoods and stuff like that, and the salon suites to get people in and out because
Exactly. And outside of JCPenney, I don't know. This collaboration may span for as long as I'll be there, as long as they'll have me.
Mhm.
But the intention is to expand outside of their corporation and
Yeah,
just do a chain of my own salons as well. So yeah, the goal is to get into as many communities as possible.
that's dope. Okay, so the last one for the icebreakers. If you weren't a hair architect, what else could you see yourself doing right now?
Interestingly enough, I studied theater.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like one of my first loves, even before hair. and I probably would be pursuing acting. I don't know if I would be a struggling actor at this point or if I would be somebody that's already in film and television, but
Mhm.
I feel like that bug still is in me
Mhm.
somewhere. So I might tap in.
Yeah.
Y'all might see me in some of these upcoming Tyler Perry movies or something. I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah. Tyler
And then
Perry.
also I was in a singing group, fun fact. And I've always wanted to like record a jazz album. So I might do that too.
That is so funny. My best friend was just talking about that because she sings, and her brother were literally just talking about how they've been saying they're going to create like a jazz band or whatever for like years.
Yeah, and
That's
you know what?
different.
What's so beautiful about it all is, I mean, I commend your friends for saying that because I really do feel like when God gives you a talent, you are doing him a disservice when you are not tapping into it in some capacity.
Hmm.
And when you have other things that you're great at, you know, you can tap into your passions and not feel like pressed about if I don't make this album, I'm not gonna be able to pay my mortgage or my rent or whatever
Right.
it is.
Right.
You should just do it because it's fun to you and it makes you feel good to the soul. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
recording a jazz album because I want to be number one on the jazz charts, you know,
Hmm.
competing with Michael Bublé. I would just want to do it just because it's something that I am passionate about and I love. So
Yes. Oh my gosh. I always had this I always ask people too about monetizing their passions because when you start to monetize your passion, sometimes you just don't feel passionate about it anymore because you're tying the results to the outcome of, whatever you're passionate about. It's a tough situation.
it is. And I think that if you do it for the love of it, and if you would do it for free anyway, the
Hmm.
money just naturally comes because people see the magic in you and the passion in you, and they want to pay you for your time and your contributions. Like with
Yeah.
hair, I was doing hair for free for so long. I was
Yeah.
doing other dancers and high school plays and actors, and I was doing Missy for free for so
Yeah.
long while I was dancing for her. And Black, when I danced for them, the girl group, I was doing
Yeah.
them for free. You
Right.
know, we would do award shows and videos, and I would just, and touring and stuff. So, and then it eventually became a check for me. So,
Hmm. I
yeah.
just had a flashback to my mom buying me that Black album when I was younger. I used to love that album. Oh my gosh. So
Yes.
you're just like an all around creative theater, dance, hair, like just acting, everything. But I guess if you think back to the version of you who was trying to pursue being an AR or dancing, like what do you think that version of Larry would think about you right now and what you've been
Wow.
able to accomplish?
Yeah, I think that that version of me would think, "Damn, boy, you did it." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've always been a dreamer though, and I really have always believed that dreams do come true. My mom has always instilled in me like, if you see it, if you feel it, if you can imagine it, it can happen.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest gifts that she gave me growing up as a kid, especially being on the west side of Chicago when a lot of the examples of what I saw growing up was stagnant. And a lot of people didn't leave the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And she was smart enough to enroll me in an arts program that was outside of the West Side. So
Yeah.
I would get picked up, from a bus, on a
Yeah.
bus, and they would take me from the West Side to Bal Lake, Michigan on the North Side.
Wow.
And I went to a multicultural arts and communication school. And that really opened the doors and like my vision for like, wow, there's a whole other world out here outside of the West Side. So
Yeah.
just pursuing even being an A&R, I think that if I had stuck to being an A&R, I would have been probably one of the biggest A&Rs. I stuck to beauty and, knock on wood, I became, a very important creative in the beauty
Yeah.
industry,
Yeah.
which I appreciate. So yeah, I've never stopped dreaming.
Yeah. You never stop dreaming. I guess whatever you put your mind to, is going to be excellence along with it.
I mean, I'm trying my best, God willing. I've been blessed for sure.
You know what? You were the first person I've met that's from the west side of Chicago. Because I always tease people like, "What part are you from?" They be like, "The South Side." I'm like, "Is everybody from the South Side of Chicago?"
Most people that make it out of Chicago are from the south side of Chicago, which is crazy. So I'm like an anomaly. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people on the west side don't get off the west side. I don't get it.
I don't know why everybody's just from the South Side. I always tease people too because my family's from Jamaica. You ask people where they from, they say Kingston. I'm like, everybody can't be from Kingston. Like, there are other
Everybody,
places.
and let me tell you about the South Side versus the West Side.
Mhm.
Everybody from the South Side always thought they were so much better than everybody from the West Side.
Oh my gosh.
And I,
Ain't that how I go?
I know I have a lot of friends that are from the South Side too. Some of my best friends are from the South Side.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, in the midst of your creative journey, when did you realize that you had a talent for hair?
Um, I knew that I had a talent for hair in high school. I
Okay.
used to have to take care of my niece a lot, and I used to babysit her, so I used to do her hair, but it would just be like, you know,
Making sure
kid
she.
like hairstyles.
Mhm.
And I would always have to sit, excuse me, in salons for hours, like we discussed.
Mhm.
And I would just pick up on the techniques because as a kid, I would have to like figure out how to be entertained for all
Yeah.
that time. And this is before we had tablets or anything like that. So I would
Right.
just watch all of these transformations. And I remember thinking to myself when I saw a weave install, a sew-in, I was like, that's like connecting the dots. It's like a puzzle. I know I can do that.
Okay.
And it was during the time also when I wanted to make extra money. And so I started doing weaves on like my high school friends. And then
Mhm.
eventually it went from that to getting paid hand over fist cash from local strippers in Chicago.
Mhm.
And that's when I knew I was like, okay, I can make money doing
Yeah.
this. And people were like, you're actually really good.
Mhm. That's dope. Okay. So, somebody else that got there start with the strippers. I love it.
Yeah.
They gotta be good. Like, they have to look, presentable to get the money too. So,
Yeah, and strippers don't play. They are
yeah.
particular about their look, their hair, the quality of it, all of it. So when the girls started coming to me, I was like, okay, I can fall back on this. I know that there's something in here
Yeah.
that I could do, and it just never left me.
Yeah. So, did you get immersed in the celebrity world through dance first?
I did,
Okay.
yeah. It was really because I started meeting a lot of other hairstylists and makeup artists and wardrobe people. And I was so fascinated with their lives and how fabulous they were and how much money they were making and
Yeah.
how important they were in terms of like the process
Mhm.
and how
Mhm.
respected they were as well. And I knew that I couldn't dance for forever. So, Christopher Maldonado, who was um, on the trip with Aaliyah, he was a makeup artist. He became one of my best friends prior to me becoming a hairstylist. And he knew
Mhm.
because me and him used to work with Black together. I used to dance for them. And he was doing their makeup and would see me like styling their wigs. And he was like, Larry, you gotta
Mm.
stop dancing, bro. Like you have
Really?
such a huge talent, and I could easily see you making it in this industry. So he offered to let me stay in his apartment because I was like, Chris, I still need to pay my rent. Like, and he's
Mhm.
like, no, you come stay with me. He had a beautiful place,
Wow.
huge, and he said, you stay with me. You go to school, focus on going to school for a year. You don't have to worry about rent, and
Mhm.
then you pursue your career and transition.
Right.
So I was like, bet I'm gonna do it. And I went to Jamaica with Missy. Um he went to God, I want to say the right place. Um Bahamas with Aaliyah.
Mhm.
And he just didn't make it home along
Right.
with the
That's
rest of
sad.
them.
That's
And I was in Jamaica with Missy when we found out. And I just remember being devastated, all of us,
mhm.
obviously.
Yeah.
Devastated as even it does the feeling that we all felt. It didn't do it any justice. But
Mhm.
anyways, after I lost Chris, I made it my duty to enroll in cosmetology school. Enrolled in cosmetology school that same year, moved back to Chicago, went to school there for a year,
Mhm.
and that began like my journey.
Wow, what an incredible story. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry that you lost your friend in that
Thank you.
accident. I remember where I was too, and how old I was, what grade I was going, all of those. I was like shook when that happened, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people were so sorry to hear
Thank you.
about that, man. Dang, you made me forget what I was going to ask you.
I know, I'm so sorry. I mean, what I can say though that's beautiful about that story is that if I didn't have Chris in my life, I don't know if I would have um, felt confident enough to really do it. I always believed in myself, but like he instilled something in me like that I he made me see it like and
Hmm.
to have somebody of his caliber actually say, "No, bro, I could see you doing this." Like I just thank God for him for pouring into me.
Yeah, I think I know what I was thinking about when you were talking is like I always hear this concept of gatekeeping in the beauty industry, but talking to people like you and like a lot of other people, it's evident that there are people out there who do want to help, who open the gates like wide open. People like your friend and Missy let you stay with her, and I'm sure you have many more stories, but what do you think about the concept of gatekeeping? Do you think it's one of those things where, like, if you feel that way, that's what you're going to receive? Or if you have a different outlook, you're going to, like, people are going to be attracted to you who want to help?
Yeah, I think that gatekeeping is so interesting. Just like Chris, who was like, "Yo, I got you."
Mm-hmm.
There were people that did not help me at all. There were
Mm-hmm.
people that saw me as a dancer, and would say to them, different glam people, like, "Yo, I'm gonna go to school and I want to pursue this," and people would tell me like, "Okay, I got you. As soon as you get out of school, I got
Yeah.
you." Or I'm going to connect you with my agent, that sort of deal. And I remember reaching out to several people after I had done it because I think that a lot of people think that like when people talk about their dreams, especially when it's at the very beginning, they don't
Mm-hmm.
really expect for you to see it through
Right. Because
and get
most
to.
people don't. Some people don't.
Some people don't. They don't think they're like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. This guy's a dancer. He's talking about going to school. They know what it takes to create that that reality for yourself.
Yeah.
And it took me over a year, and I would tap back into people after that year, and people show themselves.
Yeah.
So, and they totally were gatekeeping, like Nico, who's famous for doing Tyra and Holly
Mm-hmm.
Berry. He was another example of like keeping his word. Like I finished school and I called him when I got back to LA and he had me assist him with Tyra, like
Yeah.
just beautiful people like that. But then, some of the people, unfortunately, the way that life works, that were gatekeeping, I've surpassed.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it to be that way, but
It'd be like that sometimes.
it'd be like that sometimes. And it's like, sis or bro, like, it doesn't take anything for you to give somebody else an opportunity or open a door for somebody.
Absolutely. I can attest to that. A lot of the things, a lot of the, I'm a makeup artist, by the way. I don't know if I told you
Oh,
that.
you do?
I'm a
Oh,
makeup artist.
congratulations.
I am a makeup artist. I've been doing makeup for 12 years, but a lot of the opportunities I have gotten that are like so bomb and brag-worthy have come from people like bringing me along and, putting my name in the room and, things like that. So I love
It's
networking. I
true.
love
I love it.
connection. I love, meeting people. I always tell people I've been eating off my network for years, just, connecting with people and having good energy. And when the opportunity arises, they're like, oh, we should ask Aquia, and they could vouch for me. So I think
Yeah,
relationship building in the industry is so important.
I was gonna say like it really speaks to the person that you are,
Mm-hmm.
your spirit, your talent, obviously, um, and just being a great person. People love helping people that are amazing people. So,
Yep.
congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. And when you
Yeah,
look back at your body of work, you've done like a lot of iconic looks in pop culture for sure. What
thank
are
you.
you like most proud of, or what's a look that's like, I did that, like that you still keep,
Uh,
tucked away?
oh God, uh, there have been so many. The Lupita Nyong'o Oscar win, that was
Mm-hmm.
really huge for me in my career,
Okay.
um, especially for what we represented. Um, that natural texture, the short hair, finding the beauty in that, and a
Mm-hmm.
culture that really celebrates the long, flowy,
Yeah.
straight, beach wavy, that sort of deal, like to be able to be a part of, I think shifting the paradigm of people's perceptions as it pertained to brown girl beauty.
Yeah.
That was really huge for me and something that I always will remember. There have been so many moments with Zendaya. One of my favorites definitely had to be when we replicated the high top fade that was inspired by Grace Jones
Yes.
for our Main Addicts photo shoot. Um, I mean, so many moments with Gab,
Yeah.
like my being Mary Jane phase with her on that
Oh my
show
gosh.
alone,
Oh my gosh. I used to watch that show.
right? Like it was such a great show. And the thing that I loved about doing Being Mary Jane is that we were able to really sort of shift what people thought Black newscasters should look like.
Hmm.
We colored outside of the lines because I remember, down to like talking to the writers and the directors, it was like, and network too, about notes in terms of what Mary Jane looked like. And it was like, oh, well, Black newscasters don't have textured hair, or Black newscasters don't have braids, or like
Hmm.
the one scene that we shot of Mary Jane getting her weave sewn in by her sister.
Yes.
Yeah, like it was just like those type of moments have been so pivotal. I'll mention two more. Sanaa in Napoli Ever After
Okay.
with shaving her head
Oh, I remember
was
that scene.
huge.
Yes.
We did that in one take. Now, mind you, before we shot that, because we shot out of turn, we had to like use wigs that were supposed to be her real hair, but like she actually dyed her real hair. And Sanaa's known for like her thick, beautiful, long, natural hair. We dyed it blonde, and we shot that scene. It was like three camera set up,
Hmm.
and she shot it in one take. And bawling, I was bawling because I was like, the representation
Getting
of,
chills.
yes, of what this means to Black women, and using their hair to attract men or to have a certain status in the
Hmm.
world, especially in corporate America, and then to say, I'm done with it all and I want to shave all of this pain away, was just huge. We were all crying.
Yeah.
Um, so that was huge. And then obviously my collaboration with Janet, because I've known her since I was a dancer, and then years later to collaborate with her.
Hmm.
I'm looking at my Allure cover with her right now in my living room, and
Nice.
just all the things I've been able to do with her has been fantastic.
Incredible. Are you a part of the union now?
I am. You know
Okay.
what's crazy? They would not let me in for years.
Of course. You had to slide up in there with a few of your friends, huh?
Jesus, the local 706. Let me tell you, Wanda Sykes was the person that got me in.
Amazing.
Yeah, for the Upshaw show. She was the last piece of the puzzle that I needed. So I did the first season
Mm.
of the Upshaws. But like all those years that I did being Mary Jane, when Gab was hosting, she was a judge on America's Got Talent.
Hmm.
None of those things,
They didn't credit that towards it?
they credited America's Got Talent. But I thought with all of the years of doing being Mary Jane and all the other TV shows that I've done, it would help. But the different unions don't count for the blah, blah,
Oh.
blah.
Oh, wow.
They told me that I needed to like go and do another season of something, and I came back with that season of whatever they asked me to do, and they were like, oh, well, you were told something that was different, and now it's different, and now you need an additional. I was like,
Oh, they were playing games.
I finally got in.
Congratulations. Oh my God. So when it comes to being someone's personal, what are
Yeah.
like the biggest pros or surprising cons of being someone's personal, like their go-to?
There have been no cons for me in terms of
That's good.
being someone's personal. I've never actually worked on a production where I wasn't brought in as someone's personal. So I don't know what the other side of that feels like.
Hmm.
I know what it looks like, and I love like the department head and the team of people that all come together that collectively create this beautiful story that we all get to see and
Yeah.
experience on TV and film. But like Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to always just be brought in as a personal. So I work when they work. When they go home, I go home.
Right.
I guess it's not a downside, but the thing about being a personal is usually it's somebody that's number one or number two on the call sheet, which
Yeah.
means that they are working more than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So that means even though you get to not work when they work, you're working more than most people
Right.
that are in hair and makeup. So
Mm-hmm. At least the pay matches. Hopefully.
yes, the pay does match.
For the
Yeah,
extra
you have to
hours.
fight for that too, though. That hourly rate, you got to wrap your brain around that versus getting a daily rate.
Right.
Especially when it comes to ad jobs, it's just apples versus oranges.
Mm-hmm.
And production will always try to talk you down off your rate. But luckily, when you get up to a quote, it's
Yeah.
hard to like not give you that quote once you've earned it.
Right, for sure. Now, are you allowed to have favorites when it comes to your clients, or is it like when you have kids, you can't say you got a favorite?
Yeah. I do have, I mean, it's hard for me because everybody that I work with, everybody in this industry, it's very obvious who Gabrielle and I are in each other's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she's beyond one of my best friends. She's my family.
Yeah.
And we have just had such an incredible amount of history with each other. Like I said, we've known each other since Bring It On before I was even dancing.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, it's like 20 plus years. So, everybody knows that. Like when she calls, she becomes priority over
Mm-hmm.
everybody.
Yeah.
Um, but everybody also understands that. And everybody also gets that they have their number ones. I'm not everybody's number one. I
Mm-hmm.
fill in with Carrie when Takesha's not available.
Okay. Takesha.
Um, I just saw Tracy, Ellis Ross. I just prepped her for a movie.
Yeah.
Like people have several people that they work with. Janet is on tour. I couldn't go on tour. So she has somebody that is doing the tours right now. It's
Right.
just, people have options and I just get in wherever I can fit in.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Who gives you like the most creative freedom? Like just lets you do like whatever you see the vision, Larry, just do it.
Probably Gab.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gab gives me like I mean, we just did the cover of Marie Claire yesterday, and she's like, "What do you think?" We just winged it, and then we have the Fashion Trust Gala tonight. Um, and me, her, and her stylist are in a group chat, sending
Mm-hmm.
references, and it ultimately it's really collaborative. But they really, obviously, they value my input and creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have Met Gala coming up,
Mm-hmm.
which is a huge deal every year. And we always have so much fun thinking about ideas. We started pulling references a month ago about what we want the vision to be. And it's
Yeah.
always just so exciting. And what's great about Gab is that it's never one of those situations where and it works both ways too. With Gab, it's never one of those situations where it's like, this is the look, this is what I want you to replicate, and that's it. There's no
Mm-hmm.
wiggle room. It's like collaborative and creative. But like
Yeah.
with Law, with Zendaya, for example,
Mm-hmm.
Law has a vision, is very specific, it's always on point, and you have to, as a creative, replicate his vision and execute it on Zendaya as close to the reference as possible. Obviously, with putting your touch on it or your
Yeah.
spin on it and elaborating it so that it feels more modern or your take on it, but it
Mm-hmm.
always is a reference. And
Yeah.
usually you can't really, color outside of those lines.
Mm-hmm. Don't try to put your little don't do that. Not
But
too
yeah, I mean, you can put your sauce on it, but the inspo has to be thought out and well executed, so it
mm-hmm.
really complements his overall vision. And as you know, with Zendaya, she has never missed,
Yeah.
and I've done some of the most interesting and beautiful collaborations with her in Law.
That's amazing. Now with the let me ask you this, because I always wonder about this when it comes to doing red carpets and say you have more than one person that you're working on? Because sometimes I see people post multiple pictures with different celebrities. Like,
Yeah.
how are y'all executing this? Are you are they all in the same location? Are you running from room to room? Like, how you touching up all these different people? Or do you have assistants? I always wonder about that.
Yeah, you run it from place to place. It's rare that people are in the same location.
Oh my God.
Um, it's becoming less popular to work that way.
Okay.
Um, Simply because I remember like I used to, sometimes I would have like two, three, four, five even people. I remember doing
Ooh,
Met Ball and having like five girls, which is crazy for a hairstylist. Like when
yes.
you're a wardrobe stylist, it's easier because you got a team of assistants and you've done your fittings way before the event. So the
Mm,
look is already set. So you can have five or six or seven or eight clients in the day because you already know and you just need to show up and do a little tug and make sure the
yeah.
look is right and then you're off to the next while you leave your assistants there to basically send your people out the door.
Yeah.
With hair, you have to be there to execute it fully.
Mm,
So, during those times when I did Met and I would have like, four or five girls, I would like start people super early. And then it would trickle down to like the person, I don't want to say that's most important, but like the
yeah.
person that would get first position would be the person that typically would call to book me first. And then
Mm,
everybody else would just have to fit in those separate slots. So definitely a lot of moving around, a lot of stress, a lot of assistance.
mhm,
Um, but people are not really into going too early anymore. Like people
mhm,
are like, okay, I would almost forego using this person if they can't give me my main slot because I don't want to feel
mm,
rushed. I don't want to feel like I'm getting ready too early. I
mhm,
don't want to feel like I'm sitting around waiting. So yeah, it's becoming less popular. And to be honest with you, I've done that for so many years
mm,
that I really don't desire to like feel stressed out on like award season days.
yeah.
One, two people, three, maybe max. But other than that, like I did three people for this past Oscars, between Oscars and Vanity Fair. And three is enough for me.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
you. I feel you. That's a lot. Sometimes I talk to makeup artists who just work with regular clients and they're like, I want like 15. No, this one girl told me she had like 15 clients in a weekend. And I was like, why? Like, why you want to do that to yourself?
Right. I get the
Mm-mm.
money. I used to not even do it for the money. I would do it for the post. Like,
Yeah.
I got all these people and it looks great and it's cool. But like I just, I like to work smarter and I really want to be able to enjoy the process versus being stressed out.
Do you feel pressure or like nervous, like when you see the pictures, like making sure everything is in place? Because I feel like with makeup, you could clock it real quick if somebody's like foundation ain't matching or the brow is looking crazy. Do you feel the
Yeah.
same way with hair? Do y'all get dragged? Like makeup artists get dragged for hair?
Yeah. We get dragged. I mean, the internet is nasty
Oh my
business.
gosh.
Like, and then also it doesn't help when you have the blogs that are posting the most unflattering pictures and they're doing it on purpose to
Right.
get like a
Clickbait.
reaction from their network of people. It's just especially when it's black owned blogs
Yeah.
and it's just like I don't understand how we can be so easy to set each other up for failure. you
Mhm.
know like
Mhm.
it baffles me, it pisses me off. It's so disappointing
Yeah.
that we don't want to show each other in our best light, especially when you have control and power over that. So what a
Right.
lot of people do, a lot of my clients, a lot of people in general, we've gotten hip to the game. So it's like before you hit the red carpet, we have a photographer
I
that's
see.
at the house or in the
Got the
hotel
backdrop
rooms,
and everything.
edit these pictures and get them up and get them posted before the carpet pictures post. So hopefully you have some level of control in terms of what the blogs pick up and throw out there before the carpet pictures even hit.
Yeah.
Sometimes people see your posts and your hard work and the beautiful pictures in your house, and they still will post the messed up carpet pictures.
Oh, just for some clicks.
Uh,
What advice would you give to up and coming stylists right now who are on the who know that they want to work with celebrities or feel like they want to work with celebrities, what are some things that they should consider in going into that celebrity work in particular, and then like the etiquette, the way they need to show up and perform?
Sure. I think first you have to, it's so difficult to like be in cities that don't necessarily have the work. Luckily, with production, if you really kind of want to just do film and TV, it's being shot in so many different areas, like New
Mm-hmm.
Orleans is up and coming. Obviously, Atlanta, it's like Black
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Things are being shot in New York, Chicago, even. So you could tap in. I have a lot of friends in Chicago that do production work that like they're not trying to leave Chicago and they are thriving.
Okay.
So that's great. But like when it comes to um, doing like celebrities on a daily, sort of like where it's your bread and butter, you have to be in a main city where a lot of the work is going,
Mm-hmm.
where a lot of the work is being held. My life wouldn't be my life if I hadn't left Chicago and came to LA.
Right.
You know, that's just the reality of it. You got to bet on yourself. You have to be fearless. You have to know that you're going to make it. You have to be prepared also. Um, with showing as much of your work as possible in the best light.
Mm-hmm.
People right now obviously are into social media. They aren't necessarily only looking at your work, they're looking at how you live your life to
Right.
see if they even want your type of energy around.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's a specific way that people should act or be, but just know that what you represent is going to be a reflection of what type of work you get,
Right.
or who your clients are going to be. Like I know that there is a certain caliber of um, of talent that are going to call me,
Mm-hmm.
or a certain caliber that it's obvious that I would or would not work with. Like I'm not getting called for, I don't want to say names, but like I'm not getting called for like the ratchet, right? It's
Yeah.
just people aren't calling Larry Sims for that, but they
Yeah.
know who to call for that. And it's no shade to what that represents. It's just not what I represent and what I create and what I show up as.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's really important. Um, I think also you got to have integrity. Um, and not be afraid to do the work.
Right.
I think that a lot of people want things really quick, right? I think that in this world of social media, people think that they can slide into people's DMs, which they can, and ask for opportunities, and it kind of undermines the value of somebody's artist who is their number one. Like, for example, if somebody slid into Gabrielle's, you know, DMs
Let me
and
see
was
your
like, yo,
hand
I can
up.
do a better job than Larry Sims. That's not the way that you do it.
Right.
If you slide into her DMs, say you give her a compliment and be humble and say, if Larry is not available, I would love to be able to have an opportunity.
Right.
And you'd be surprised at the type of reaction that that would get
Right.
versus you trying to undermine the integrity of our relationship.
Right.
So yeah,
I wouldn't
just
even
have
go
some
for the
integrity.
artist. I would go for you. If it were me, I would go to try to get to you first and try to like assist you and build a relationship with you first. And then I would like, well, if you ain't available, Larry, let me slide in there one day. I wouldn't even go to the celebrity.
Right. Well, you'd be surprised. A lot of people go straight to the celebrity. I do get the other side of it though too. I've gotten so many beautifully talented people, and I wish I could work with them all, that have been so gracious to me and so polite and so complimentary to
Yeah.
me and what I do, and have offered their talent and services. And I think that they're beyond assistance because they
Mm,
are so dope in their own
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to collaborate with as many of them as possible.
Yeah. You might need a little mentorship program or something. Bring
We
some.
try. We working on all of it: the Sim Style School, the Sim Style Academy of Mentorship, all
Yeah.
of it.
I love that because, of course, you're not just a stylist. You are the co-founder of Flawless by Gabrielle Union. That is so dope. When I heard you tell the story about it, like how that opportunity came about at BBR, I was like, this is you just can't make certain things up. Like certain things you just can't plan for. Like it just happens. And I'm having these realizations lately where it really is just a matter of keep it like just keep going. One foot in front of the other, one day after the next, and then before you realize that you're not a dancer anymore. You have a whole brand with your
It's
bestie.
it's crazy. Like I never would have thought that that would have like worked out the way it did. Like you said, you can't make it up. I didn't foresee it in
Mm-mm.
my future. I saw that. Yeah, okay, so I was like a spokesperson for Schwarzkopf for many years, for a product Smooth and Shine that they had that is
Mm-hmm.
no longer in existence, unfortunately, and Got to Be that became hugely popular over the last several years, especially with us. Back when
Yeah.
I was a spokesperson for Got to Be, um, I was the black boy, basically supporting the white brand
Uh-huh.
because Got to Be was really primarily used for people that wore spiky hair
Yeah, before the lace glue and stuff.
before the lace glue, exactly. And but with that relationship for 10 plus years, I remember thinking to myself, like, okay, after this deal is done, I'm gonna come out with the Larry Sims Black Label line, whatever
Mm-hmm.
that looks like. And talking to my team about it, Gab was like, would you like to partner with me on the relaunching Flawless? And I was like, wait, are you serious? And she's like, yeah, like I want you to be a part of this. I can't imagine doing this without you. You're
Oh.
responsible for my hair. I respect you and what you've done in this industry.
Mm.
You're a leader in it. I appreciate your perspective. And I just don't want to do it without you.
Yeah.
So I put the Larry Sims Black Label thought to the side and I was like, we are powerful in numbers. And
Mm-hmm.
I love you so much and you've opened so many doors for me that I want to be able to collaborate with you on this level and see it through.
Yeah.
And it's been magical. It's been a wild roller coaster ride. She's been generous with equity. Um, just setting me up to make sure that I'm positioned to win within the company. And she's really set a standard in terms of what other creatives can hope for
Mm-hmm.
with their clients. You know, she's one
Yeah.
of very few that has done this, especially for somebody in our culture. So
Yeah.
it's been amazing.
Yeah. What has building that brand taught you about beauty and business like together when it comes together?
Yeah, it's so many ebbs and flows. It's not what you think it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
not I want to have a shampoo, you dream of it, and then all of a sudden it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's months and months and months of testing. Like we tested the relaunch line, the core line, um, over a year before we were
Wow.
able to go to market. Um, it took months and months of like sending things back and this isn't right, that isn't right. Tons of money that it took. I learned about investments. I learned about chemists and
Yeah.
how that whole process works. I learned about components and sustainability. Um, I learned about distribution. It's
Yeah.
like all of these things that I would have never known or would have been hard lessons if I had done it on my own. And what's so
Mm-hmm.
beautiful about this is that, you know, when I do decide to eventually do a Larry Sims line, I would have learned so many invaluable lessons
Yeah.
through this flawless process. And then down to like once you go to market, marketing, what it costs to be partners with these retailers, because people think that all I got to do is get my brand on the shelves. No, 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 no. It costs money to be on shelves.
Yeah, and
It
it
costs
costs money to
money.
be at eye level on the show. A certain, yeah, I've learned all of that.
What's your budget? Because you want to be on the bottom shelf or you want to be in the front? You want to
Right.
be somewhere that is appealing, or do you want to be? And unfortunately, what happens is a lot of brands, especially smaller brands, like Flawless, and you know, there are so many others that have fallen to this, which is you get in these big retailers and you hit it out the gate and you're successful, successful, successful. And as you grow and expand, you think the more stores I'm in, the more partners I have. I'm at
Mhm.
Walmart, I'm at Sally Beauty, I'm at this place, and I'm at that place. And when you are waiting on checks to come in from orders,
Yeah.
you're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul to stay on shelf in these relationships. And
Mhm.
the less you have the money to stay on shelf or the market, the lower your vision, your visibility in those partnerships become. And then your sales drop. So
Right.
it's just it can be very tricky, and nobody teaches you that.
Yeah, that's a tough game. The retail space alone, I learned so much just by, talking to people on the podcast and everything about what it really takes to succeed in retail. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna stick to my little Shopify. If I,
Right. I mean, you have to have investors that have really long pockets.
yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah,
You have to have investors that have really long pockets to really expand in a way that is sustainable for large retailers at a
right.
very robust level. Sometimes it's smart to work smarter and be small.
Mm-hmm.
D2C,
Mm-hmm.
Amazon. Sustaining relationships with where you grow smaller into something bigger. That your business can carry. Shopify.
Mm-hmm.
Um, TikTok Shop. All of those
Right.
things. Those things make tons of money.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, fun fact, I did dress up maybe like 2 years ago for Halloween and Clovers. It was a huge hit, and people have told me that I look like Gab
You do. I see
for
it.
real. I could be like her little sister or something, right?
Yeah, they're about
I
to
said
do a
I
Bring
gotta
It On
ask him because
reboot
he
too.
actually knows her, but people always tell me that I look like her.
It's so true. And they're quietly working on a Bring It On reboot. So
Mm, mm,
you might be able to
mm.
get up in
I
there.
can do it. Yeah, so you're gonna be at the Hair Education Beauty Summit on May 4th on a panel. You gotta tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm on the panel with so many amazing people. I'm really proud of what Hair Education Beauty Summit represents for the culture. I grew up going to Bonner Brothers Hair Show,
Hmm.
and this is really cool in terms of like just collaborating, bringing the East Coast all together. I know that people are flying in from different places,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a fantastic 2-day event. I'm only on the panel for one of the days,
Okay.
but I'm really excited to just be a part of it and share the knowledge and the wealth. In
Hmm.
terms of like, remember we were talking about gatekeeping. There will be no gatekeeping
Right.
on that panel, and I'm really excited to be able to chat in community with other fellow artists and creatives.
Absolutely. I know two other people from the panel. I know Brittany and I know Shanae. We've
Yes,
kind of come up
absolutely.
together. Like y'all have y'all generation of people. We have our generation of people. So I'm very familiar with them. Super excited to see them have that opportunity as well. Are you going to be there both days?
Yeah, no, I'm only going to be there on the 4th, I believe.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you. I'll be there on the 5th.
Ah,
I'm moderating the panel on the 5th. So I'm gonna miss
man, that's unfortunate. I
you.
know. Well, the 5th is Met Ball too. So
Right.
I'll be in town for that. But yeah, I wanted to come back on the 5th to walk around too, like and check out like the different vendors and whatnot. But
Hmm.
I didn't realize when I was talking about going on the 5th that Met Ball is actually that day.
It's always that weekend. I'm going to the makeup show the day before.
Oh,
I do
nice.
I do a bus trip from DC to New York to the makeup show. So I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to stay overnight and let them come back alone on the bus or come back with them and then come back the next day.
No, you
I
should
don't know yet.
stay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I had Nicole, the founder of Hebs, on the podcast maybe sometime last year.
Okay.
And I'm a big believer in shooting your shot. So I was just like, oh, if you need a panel, somebody to moderate a panel or something, girl, let me know. She was like, "Ah, absolutely." So she's somebody that, to your point, kept her word. because maybe some months later her PR person reached out and was like, "Hey, like, would you be interested?" I was like, "Absolutely." So
That is
gotta
incredible.
shoot
I
your
love
shot.
it. I always say shoot your shot. And when you are ready, you don't got to get ready. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You know your stuff. You're an incredible speaker, as
Oh,
we
thank
all can
you.
see. I'm just saying, like, I love that you showed up in that way and you made her feel good. And here we are. I wish I could
Yeah.
see your panel.
I know, right? I hope they record it or something. I hope I can see the panel because when I get in situations like that, I don't even, it's like an outer body kind of thing. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even know what just happened and what I said and how people reacted. So I hope they record it so I can see it too.
Yes, do you know what your subject, what are you
It's
talking about?
called Wisdom Well. It's a panel with just different entrepreneurs within the beauty industry about,
Okay.
entrepreneurship and stuff like that. So
I love it.
yeah, I'm excited about it. Super duper excited. So when you think about, because you've accomplished so much, and I know people always are like, "What's next? What's next?" But when you think about your next level, like, what would you? How do you envision that your next level?
Yeah, continuing to build out my legacy. Always creating opportunities um, to create revenue while you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Working smarter, not harder. And that comes in expansion of business ideas and opportunities. I always say, like, if you have 5 or 10 of you, imagine what mark you can make in the industry that you're in.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make sure that I replicate the things that I've built for myself and others so
Mm-hmm.
that it just builds continuous generational wealth, not only for myself, but for them as well. So
Yeah.
a lot of big ideas on the horizon. I never stop dreaming. The salon space is something that I definitely am excited to expand upon outside of JCPenney and the Sim Style experience outside of that
Mm-hmm.
corporation.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about the potentials of that and what that looks like. There's so much growth and opportunity in Flawless. We have so many dope plans to expand in different avenues
Uh-huh.
that we're really excited about. We're in talks right now to hit the market with some new
Okay.
that isn't products that
Okay.
we're really excited about as
Tools.
well. So yeah, continue to build and to grow, and then also those, like, those pet projects of mine, the things that I haven't necessarily been able to tap into.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about those different talents that you have,
Yeah.
just being able to expand on those and just doing like those things that are like are like okay, now that I've done everything that I've wanted to do, I have time to pick up a
Yeah.
guitar and take a guitar lesson. You know, I don't want to play the guitar. I'm just
Yeah.
using that as an
An
example.
example for sure.
Yeah, or take that cooking class,
Mm.
those sorts of things. And I've just been blessed to really have a full life thus far. And um, I'm just thankful.
Yeah, I'm trying to be intentional too about setting goals that don't necessarily have to do with business. Because sometimes I think
Yes.
business and personal goals kind of intermingle with each other. I'm like, no, I want to do something completely for myself that has nothing to do with beauty or the beauty industry or anything like that. So I've been trying to be intentional about that lately.
Yeah, there's balance. You can't just work, work, work.
Hmm.
You got to
Yeah.
enjoy life too.
Speaking of balance, how do you harmonize your life with all the different endeavors you have going on? How do you take care of yourself?
Ooh, a lot of times it's spending times with my 2 dogs, as you just heard. They're they're definitely more calm
Mhm.
than what you just said. There was another dog outside, so they were
That was
barking
the
at him.
homie.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. They protecting the house, protecting the crib.
Mhm.
So I definitely spend a lot of time with them. I love doing that. Um, Going to the beach, meditating every single day
Me
of my
too.
life, reading my daily word and affirmations every single morning before I pick up the phone to look at any emails or text messages or any social media. I lead with that. I tap into um, Reverend Michael Beckwith,
Mhm.
who does agape. He live streams it, so I tap into his Sunday service every chance I get.
Mhm.
Um, Beach, gym, hikes. the whole nine. That's the beautiful thing about living in California. We have so much
Yes.
nature here. It's so
Yes.
beautiful here, and it's sad that people don't take full advantage of it. But I
Hmm.
do.
Like beach, gym, hike, client,
Yes,
beach.
sun. Yes, all
Yeah.
of it.
I
Absolutely.
forgot to tell you too when you were talking about you all were coming out with different products, not necessarily products, maybe tools or something. I have a friend that created this dope comb. I'm gonna DM it to you so you can see it. But
Okay.
she created this really dope detangling comb that she's getting patented right now, where you can put the product inside of the handle and like distribute it as it's coming out.
Oh, I
Super dope.
love that.
I was shook when I saw it. I was like, whoa.
That's dope. Congratulations to
Yeah,
her.
I would send it to you so you can see it. Cause and then the gag, cause I just met her. Short story, I won this grant. I won the NAACP and L'Oreal grant recently. So they
Congratulations.
flew us out to Florida, all the grant recipients out to Florida a couple of weeks ago. So we all got to meet each other. So I was like just going through her page and I saw her. What did she do? She basically recycled the product because she's not wasting it. You can pull the product back into the handle.
Wow.
Dope.
That is
I just
crazy.
had to tell you because you're a hairstylist. I'm like, I know he would probably like that.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I love people that come up with things that are disruptive,
Mm-hmm.
in the industry. I think it's so dope to
Yeah, for sure.
actually see it. Number one, see it in your head,
Mm-hmm.
envision it, and actually execute it and see
Yeah.
it come to life. Like it's such a dope process.
It's called the Carefree Comb. If anybody wants to know, go look it up. Carefree Comb.
I
Um,
love it. I can't wait to check it out.
yeah. So, what do you want your legacy to be, Larry? At the end of the day, what do you want people to remember or say about you, your contribution to the beauty industry and everything?
Oh God. I think that I probably would want people to say that he led with heart and passion and his truth
Mm-hmm.
and kept it integral the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
And I'm really proud of that. I've never undermined anyone. I've never talked bad about anyone to like position myself to get ahead of the game.
yeah.
Um, I've never done anything to disrupt my peace when I go to sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I've experienced in this industry, I've worked hard for.
Yeah.
And everything that's good that has come to me, I feel like I've earned. So I'm
Absolutely.
really proud of that.
Awesome. Do you have anything that's coming up that you want to share, or just have met
Yeah, I mean, there are always different things coming up.
that you don't have NDAs for?
That I don't have NDAs for, right? Exactly. There's so many. I'll put it to you like this: there are so many things in the works. I'm always working on the next thing. If I go silent on social media, it doesn't mean that there's not anything going on. It means that
Mm-hmm.
I'm under, and I'm working to bring certain things to life. There's a TV project that I'm really excited about.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the works. We're in discussions about it. Again, in terms of flawless expansion, in terms of sim style and the salon experience, growth and expansion
Yeah.
with JCPenney and thereafter. There are talks about books.
Okay.
There are talks about a tour. Um,
Okay. Busy.
yeah, jumping in on a movie with Gab
Mm-hmm.
in from May to June, I think it is. We'll be shooting a really exciting, cool project in Chicago for a
Okay.
month.
Nice.
Um, we just shot a movie in Canada that should be coming out towards the end of this year, maybe around Halloween, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So don't want to talk too much about that, but just all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll stay tuned for sure.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And the summit coming up.
Yes.
So
Okay.
we're excited about that.
So I'll see you. Maybe I'll see you there
Yes, absolutely. Or in the New York street somewhere.
somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. I try to stay out the New York streets, man.
Listen,
Can't
New
do
York
it.
streets be trouble, boy.
I can't do it.
They be
Mm-mm.
fun though.
I guess. Well, before you go, before you go, I have to ask you the friends and beauty rapid fire questions. So whatever comes to your mind first, you can spit it out, or if you need to elaborate, that's fine too.
Okay.
So first one is, what are the top three keys to your success so far?
Authenticity, hard work, and passion.
I love it. How do you measure your success?
I don't think that I have reached my max potential. I'm very thankful for everything that I have been able to accomplish and experience. And it's been an amazing ride, but there's still so much more to come.
Yeah, it is. What's the best advice you've ever received, or a piece of advice that just always sticks with you?
In the words of Bevy Smith, it gets greater later.
It gets greater later. I love that. Okay, Becky. I was just listening to another podcast. Someone was talking about her, and how they connected. What advice
Love
would you
her.
give to? Yeah, she's so cool. What advice would you give to another hair architect right now who is just not having a good time in the industry, and they're just like, I'm gonna just go ahead and give me a little corporate job or something and put down the shears and stuff.
Always bet on yourself. If you put down the shears, it will never happen. Don't ever give up on a dream. And just know that it happens in the time that it's supposed to, not in your time.
That's so true. What's a resource that helps you in your business that you could share with the friends and beauty community?
You know what I love? I love Black Beauty Roster and what Black Beauty Roster is doing.
Yeah.
Maud and them over there, they've created a really cool network of resources, not only for artists, but for production companies and networks.
Yeah.
They're a dot connector for artists and creatives that want to work in the entertainment industry. So I just love the community that they're building, and it's a great resource, especially for up and coming artists.
Absolutely. Get on the roster, y'all. Blackbeautyroster.com.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So the last one is just a statement that I want you to repeat and add your little flavor to it.
Okay.
Just say, my name is blank, and the key to longevity and success is blank, whatever you think it is.
Okay. My name is Larry Sims, and the key to longevity and success is passion. Lead
Ooh.
with passion, lead with truth, lead with authenticity, and the sky's the limit in terms of how long you really want to be able to do whatever your heart's desire is.
I love it. Well, Larry, oh my gosh, before you go, please share your social media, website, whatever you want people to do to connect with you, your brand, flawless, whatever you want to share.
Yes. So I am at Larry Jarah Sims on everything. Jarah is Jarah. Sims, Sims, Larry, Larry. There are links to everything Flawless, everything JCPenney, everything Sim Styled. And check me out. I appreciate everybody. And I appreciate you for having me.
I appreciate you for being here. This was an
Thank
absolute
you.
pleasure. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Yes.
I'll see you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with another friend in beauty. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe, rate, and leave a 5-star review so that other friends in beauty can find the show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty, hashtag Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.